She took the onion out of the cleaning sheet, found my contact lens on the kitchen floor, changed the battery in my hearing aid, threw out the frying pan, cleaned up the chicken stock, got me all tucked in, and then she said, there now, have a nice day. And when she left, I looked at the clock and I thought, oh my God, it's 6 o'clock. I have to cook dinner. Well, I am now old. I'm 82, and I have decided there has to be some joys to aging, and there are, and there really are people. For example, this is the best year of my life, but of course I can't remember any of the others, but it is. And I thought to myself, yes, there are joys to aging. There are many joys to aging. I mean, for example, I wake up in the morning. That's always a surprise. Sometimes I even get out of bed. Yeah. And I'm off the pill. I just came back from Italy and I didn't get pregnant. It doesn't happen every time, no. And no more PMS. No more PMS. When I tell you I'm going to kill you, yeah. I mean it. That's right. But one of the nice things about being my age, really something I really love, is that when I turned 75, I stopped gaining weight. I have no idea why I stopped gaining weight. I think that my metabolism looked at me and said, oh, the poor old sod, let her eat. What else does she have? Anyway, I stopped gaining weight. So I was at an ice cream parlor, and I ordered a hot fudge sundae with extra fudge, extra whipped cream, and extra nuts. And the girl said, you forgot the cherry. I said, listen, I lost that years ago. Now I'm into nuts. She said, you eat that, it'll go right to your hips. I said, they're brand new. They can take it. But one of the interesting things about aging is that the medical profession has figured out that we're big business. We're big business. And they've devised many procedures to convince us we're falling apart and they're not. And one of my favorites was not my favorite to do, but my favorite procedure is one that was invented by an angry surgeon who wanted to get back at his mother for making him finish medical school instead of being able to sit around and smoke a bong with the boys. And it is called the mammogram. Now, who has had a mammogram here? Anyway, you will tell them I'm not exaggerating. For you, sir, in case you don't know what a mammogram is like, imagine your most precious possession put through a mango without heat. The way you prepare for a mammogram, you poor innocent things who haven't had one, the way you prepare for a mammogram is you lie down in the garage and your partner backs the car over you. That's how they do it. Now, the time that I am telling you about, I was having these in San Francisco, outside of San Francisco, in San Mateo County. So in California, and here in the NHS, when you have to have a procedure, they send you a form letter. But you don't do that with a mammogram to California women. Because if they've got a form letter, they just crumple it up and throw it away. So in San Mateo County, when they want to let you know that it's time for the mammogram, which you have to have once a year, when they want to let you know, they put the notice on it's called an informal. It looks like a party invitation. And when you go to the mail, you look and you say, oh, somebody's having a party. And then you open it up and you think, oh, shit. It says it's that time of year again, and it's got a phone number. In America, if you call that phone number, no matter what time you say you're going to come in, they have room for you. Because in California, if you called that number and they said, sorry, we're booked, you just hang up and then forget about it. So they know. And no matter when you call up, they always have room. So I called them and I said, well, I'm an entertainer and I won't be able to come in till midnight on Monday. That's all right. We have room for you and your breast. I said, thank you very much. I said, where am I supposed to go? They said, well, you go to a place that's called the Breast Center. There are 37 floors devoted to your breast. And I said, that's wonderful, because my two husbands could never even find them. Really excited. So I said, well, how do I find this place? She said, oh, it's easy. It's 2 big domes. You can see it from the motorway. So I found it. And I went there, and this androgynous creature handed me a blouse. It was a rag that I wouldn't use to mop my ex-husband's toilet. And it's open in the front, right? Yeah. And always it's in a very happy little print, the material. It's sort of a Laura Ashley print. Mine had ballerinas on it to remind me that my days of touriste were long gone. And she handed me this thing, and I went and I put it on. You take off your clothes and you put this thing on. And I walked into this room that had dim lighting so you can't see what's happened to your skin, and beautiful paintings. They had Renoirs and Laurentian. And you sit around a table with a lot of other women with their situation, and the same blouses, with their situation hanging out, and you chat like you're having tea at the Caledonian or something. And this one woman said, my daughter's in environmental studies. She's studying global warming. And the woman next to her said, oh my God, I hope she finds the answer. I'm dying of the heat. And I said to her, no, darling, that's a hot flash. And at this point, out of a room I didn't even know existed, comes an immense woman who looks like she's just finished breastfeeding 17 children, not to mention the 6 that she wet nursed. And she says, follow me. And I do. I follow her into a room approximately the temperature of Juneau, Alaska during a cold snap. My breath frosts over, my nose begins to drip, and she says to me, take off your blouse. And I say, I have. She said, well, then turn around. And I say, I am. And we spend the next half hour looking for my little treasure, which she thinks I've hidden in my shoe or under my arm. And when we finally find it, shriveled to the size of a pinhead with frost dripping off the end, she points to a machine that looks like a medieval thumbscrew without the teeth, and she says, put it there. I don't know about the rest of you girls. I can't just toss it over. I've got to go over there with it. And you're looking at the height of me, and this tray is always up there. It's always so high. So I finally got myself situated on the tray, and without any warning, no warning, 35 pounds of steel come crashing down on my chest, and she says, breathe. She comes out 5 minutes later and she said, well, that wasn't bad, was it? Now we'll do the other one. I said, no, you can't have the other one. It belongs to my boyfriend, and he doesn't like it ironed. You're sitting there and you're thinking, ha, 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 that's what the women have to go through. Aren't I lucky? I don't have to do that. But we have a procedure for you. Women have to have it, but men, it's more important for men. It is called the colonoscopy. For those of you who don't know what a colonoscopy is, what they do is they shove a pipe up your ass and you're on television. I was really excited about that. I've been trying to get on television for 12 years. And I thought, well, maybe I can invite NBC and CBS, BBC. Yeah. But to do this examination, they clean you out. And in America, they clean you out with a laxative that is called, I swear to you, Go Lightly. The most misnamed product I have ever heard of. 2 gallons of it. So they sent me home with 2 gallons of this stuff, and I couldn't stomach it. So I came back the next day, and I said to the doctor, I can't drink this. I can't stand it. He said, don't worry. I have plan B. If a doctor ever says to you, I have plan B, you get up, walk out of that office, and go to a faith healer, because plan B is going to be horrific. This one was pills. These were pills, I swear to God, they had fuses on them. I saw the same pills in the excavation department of the hardware store. That's how, so these pills were dynamite. Anyway, they worked. I blew out the side of the house in the bay window, but they worked. And I came back the next day, and in America, when they give you this examination, they just dope you up. They don't put you out. They just dope you up. And, when you do that to a comedian, what do? They tell jokes. So he's got me sort of loopy, and he shoves a pipe up my ass. He's looking at television. I'm telling jokes, and he's laughing. And I'm thinking, what are you laughing at? Are you laughing at what you see on the screen, or are you laughing at what I'm telling you? Because if he's laughing at what he's seeing on the screen, I'm in trouble. And at the end of this examination, and this is true, he looked at me and he had the most sincere expression on his face. And he said, "Thank you so much," he said. "I've never had so much fun." And I said, "Oh my God, what do you expect? Look at the profession that you picked. It's not going to be a laugh a minute." But the upshot of that, the end of that, this man came to all my comedy shows for the next several years. Yeah, so I got myself a customer, don't ask, a fan. And I thought I was just going to find out whether I had colon cancer. But anyway, that was